Welcome back to my channel. As you will see in the title of the video, I will tell you about an experience that I had earlier this year. Alright, I know that I had said, for those of you who watch my videos, I had said that I will give you the full story when I reached 500 subscribers, but two things. This is not my bread and butter. I started this channel for some reasons, personal reasons. I wanted to watch myself grow from being this very bashful person to see what can come out of this channel. And I want to make videos. I like creating videos and I like putting memories together. I just like to watch them come together and the outcomes. So that is one. The next thing is that I am getting older and I am losing my memory, and I do not want to either forget what happened on the day or decide to not tell the whole story, because some people, when they watch this video, they are going to hear the complete story, didn't even know that it happened, and there are some people who only heard like little sketches of what happened on that day. So I decided to come and do this video. Alright, so and I also decided that I'm not going to be editing it. So anything I say, it will be all over the place, I can assure you. And I also will not cut anything I remember. I'm just going to tell you, drop it in if I don't remember it in the order that it happened. Alright, so stay tuned. Background to this incident is that I was having some extreme foot pain. I mean, it was messing up my entire day, every single day. This has been going on for some months, but sometime in about March, April, it got so bad that I decided to use some money, make the sacrifice and use some money that I had to go and see this pain specialist. Somebody in my family has been there before, and I know that he was good. So I decided to make the sacrifice and go and see this pain specialist. Of course, when I got the medication, there was a bottle with some CBD oil. You know, we call it cannabis, weed, many names people call it, but marijuana. So they gave me a bottle with some, let me say, marijuana oil. Very good for pain, very good for pain. And there was another bottle with some other medication, pain medication. And the person who was giving me the set of medication, she said to me, she warned me like several times not to mix up the dosage of the two bottles because they kind of look similar. And she warned me, and I was saying, why is she saying it so much time? She think me not have any sense? Anyways, fast forward, I was taking the medication, yeah, how I should take it, until this one morning, I mixed up the two bottles. Same thing that she was warning me about. I mixed up the two bottles. And you know what I did? I took the dose for the other medication, which is 5 times more than what I should take of the marijuana oil. The minute it go into my mouth and I had to spray it, squeeze it through this tube thing, the minute it touched my tongue, I knew I did the wrong thing. But before I could do anything, I was swallowing it. Of course, I panicked a little bit. But, Sophie, I panicked a little bit, but I had no idea what was about to happen. So I decided to just go on about my business. That was the last thing I did before I left for work, which is teaching. So I took up my bag and I left. When I reached the grill to go outside, the first time I noticed something strange was happening, still did not link it to what happened, is that I started feeling very paranoid, like something is going to happen. What is going to happen? Somebody's going to come into the house. So I said to my daughter, you know where the key is for the grill? And she said, you know, I'm not so sure. I said, please to find it. And please lock up. As soon as I step out here, please to lock up. Because she was the only person left, but their children were off to school. Everybody else was gone, work or wherever. And I just felt this need to make sure that she's secured. So she said, she was asking, like, why am I acting like that? I said, find the key and make sure you lock the grill and whatever. Then I went through the grill, she locked. I make sure I watched when she locked, you know. Then I went through the gate. By the time I reached the bus stop, which was about less than 5 minutes away, less than 4 minutes away, I started feeling like I was walking on air. Like my steps were literally not touching the ground. And I'm saying, why I feel like this? Is it that because I didn't eat? Am I feeling a little dizzy? You see, always stupid? Because I still did not link it to the overdose of marijuana oil. Then I was looking at everybody. I was like looking at them and wondering if they're seeing that I am not walking on the ground. I'm looking at everybody, and to me, everybody's looking at me, and then I said, no man, the people are not looking at me. That means I'm not walk on the ground, or they don't notice. Luckily for me, a car came same time, car that was going to half of the journey, and I sat in the car. It's like I started talking loudly, saying something random. Then I was not sure if I was talking at all. Yeah. I felt like I was in a different world. I was not in the world. Then I started finding out that I started falling in and out of sleep. Like I keep dozing. And to me, everybody's just staring at me. One at a time, I know that I doze off because it's my snore that woke me up. It was my snore that woke me up. Then I realized now that at some point I realized that, you know, is the overdose. Lord of mercy, me start think all kind of things now because my thoughts them start run up and down in my head. And I don't know what to do. I'm sitting in the car, I'm heading to work. And I know that I cannot operate like this. Then I said I'm going to call my husband and tell him to meet me at 3:30, find somebody to meet me at 3:30 and pick me up. Then, even though I was like high and my thoughts were all over the place, I realized that my husband is too far away to do anything about. So I said, I'm going to call my sister. Then I said, no, but if I call any of them, the people in the taxi going to know what is happening, and me no want the driver carry me away. Me no know the people them. Oh God. Alright. Somehow, I decide, among the bullet thoughts going through my head, that I'm going to go to 3:30, then I'm going to find somewhere nice and quiet that I can call and talk to my sister, because she would be closer. She could get to me quicker and carry me home or carry me to school. I still did not know why I was calling her, what I would tell her, what she would do. But I prayed and asked the Lord, please to let me stay awake so that I know when to come off the vehicle at 3:30. When I stepped out of the vehicle, yes, I was awake. When I stepped out of the vehicle, I started walking on clouds again. So I started walking slowly, and I was looking around for somewhere to make this phone call. But I was thinking one thing. No, I was thinking many things. But my body was moving in a different direction. I was heading towards where the pedestrian crossing was for me to, just like I would do every morning. That is what my body was doing, while my mind was telling me that I need to that I need to do something. I need to call my sister or something. No, the whole time I was floating, because I was not walking. The whole time I was floating in the opposite direction of my thoughts. everybody that was coming in the opposite direction was a threat to my life. And anybody walk close to me was a threat to my life, because all in my head, my paranoia is that somebody saw what was happening when I came out of the car, and they realized that I was high, and they followed me. They are following me all the way over to the other vehicle to go to school. So, I was just jumpy and looking at everybody like I was ready to defend myself, because nobody now kidnapped me today. At first, I didn't remember what happened between the time that I took the taxi to school, and then while I was jotting down, making the jottings, I remember that I said to the driver, I think I traveled with him before, and I asked him if I can pay him to take me to the school gate. Sometimes they do, sometimes they say no, they can carry me to the closest point and let me off. But I explained to him that I'm not feeling well, and I would like him to take me to school, and he must wake me up if he see me asleep. No, if I was in my right mind, you think I would be telling a taxi man that I don't feel well and I'm going to fall asleep and he must carry me to school? She say, me never in my right mind. Anyway, him carry me go, and I think he's him wake me up, because I was just sleeping, in and out of sleep. And then I glided to the classroom. Of course, I was still walking in here. I glided to the classroom, and I noted that when I went into the office, there was one teacher who was sitting close to me with a wall parting us, and the other one was around to the back. So I said good morning, and I sat down in my chair at my desk, placed my head on my backpack, and I just laid there. And I know he said something to me about me not feeling well, and honestly, I don't know what I answered. I heard myself talking, but I did not feel myself talking. And I was thinking that I'm talking loudly. Then I was wondering, should I tell this teacher? These are all the thoughts going through my head. Should I tell the teacher what is happening? Or if I tell him, will he panic? And then everybody is going to know that the teacher come and I walk on cloud from marijuana. How can I think? Then they thought had some humor to it, and I started laughing. Then I was wondering if I'm laughing, or this is if whatever is going on is even real. And I know I laid there I had a class. I was minutes away from a class when I reached the school, but I knew I couldn't go to class. So when my supervisor came in, after that class would have passed, he asked if I was not feeling well, and I said no, and I don't remember what he said. And I was just in and out of sleep. One at a time I'm saying, shouldn't I call my sister now that I am sitting down in class? But I don't know. In the office, I don't know why I didn't call her. I don't know why I decided that I'm just going to stay and see how long this thing is going to stay in my system. And I don't remember eating. I don't remember drinking any water. I know I remember going to the bathroom because I was conscious. And the bathroom was very close to me. So at least that. And I went there many times. So the teacher I know he was talking to me. I don't know if I responded. And all I was thinking, I just want to go home. I want to go home. I want to sleep off this thing. Then one at a time now, I woke up and I asked if school was done. And I was told that yes, like they said 20 minutes ago. And I said, all right, God, if you can just get me to the bus stop, I can go in the bus. And I can find myself home safer than when I was going to work. Just help me, Lord. As I told you, the journey to the bus stop to go home, 10 to 12 minutes, was a blur. I don't remember anything that happened. The journey from the first destination to my house was a blur. I don't remember anything that happened, but I remember coming in through the gate passing some people on the veranda, don't know who, and greeting the dogs, and went straight in my bed and lay down. And I woke several hours afterwards. So at one point I remember that I was a little bit conscious, still not sure if this was really happening, but I was thinking, I wonder how me look. And I took up my phone and I took a selfie. But by the time I finished taking the picture, I fell asleep. So when I woke up again, I tried to look at the picture, but my eyes were not focusing. And it's afterwards, when I look at the picture, I said, "Jeez and peace." Then look at somebody stay up on the road, and people must see somebody. I'm going to insert it somewhere for you to see. I make sure I save that picture every time I'm cleaning out the phone. To take out pictures that I make sure I send it to my husband to make sure that when I'm ready for it, you can send it back to me, to make sure that I did not lose this one photo that I was able to take when I was high in the sky on overdose of marijuana oil. Now, although this video is already long, I don't want it to be much longer, but I have to say, suppose I was driving that day, and I did not realize what was about to happen. I could have crashed the car, I could have killed myself, I could have maimed myself, or people on the road or another motorist. People, do not use that stuff. Do not use the weed, the marijuana, or any other substance that will alter your thinking, that will cause you to do things that you are not planning to do, that will cause you to harm your body, harm your mind, harm people. Just leave it alone. Because even though they say it make you high, trust me, I was at that high. I was way up that high. But there was no good feeling up there. Don't make them fool you. There's no feeling of good feeling up there on that high. It was total panic and it was dangerous. Take it from me. Leave it alone.